Hey. Hare Krishna. You can all hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry about this few interruptions. So thank you very much for giving your time. So today we're going to speak about the distribution of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. So we'll begin by a few Mangala Charanam prayers. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So dear devotees, I know it's late, so we'll go through the presentation. If at any point in time you have questions, you can raise your virtual hand, or you can just interrupt me if I'm not very attentive to see. So what will we be discussing today? I just need to make sure, because I'm sharing a video. I need to click that box, that box, and I need to do that. So everyone can see my screen properly?
Yes.
Yes, okay, great. So Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, the crest jewel of all Vedic texts. And we are going to be attempting, or we have been attempting, to distribute Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. And what I'd like to share with you today is some of my own experiences and on distributing Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. When we engaged in this transcendental activity of distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books, this is not an activity like you can learn in an ordinary way. Book distribution is a spiritual activity, a transcendental activity, and much of it comes from personal inspiration and empowerment. So this is in some ways this may be theoretical, but underlying it is the spiritual principles. So what I hope to cover today, in everything we do, the success of that activity depends on intention. The stronger the intention, the more powerful the motivation, the more successful the activity will be. Just like in a court of law, some people may be involved in a crime. The person who's engaged in the crime with greater intention, they get a more severe sentence. So in the same way, if we could draw some parallels, even in spiritual life, when the intention is strong, the motivation is strong, then there is greater success and empowerment and inspiration. We'll talk briefly about that. And then today's presentation, I would like to cover, when we're presenting Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, just a few basic parts of our presentation. Depending on the audience, sometimes we have just a minute or 2 minutes to present Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, and we'll do it in our own way. Sometimes we have more time. But as far as possible, these are some essential ingredients of a presentation. First is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll be surprised to know that there are many people who have no idea who Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. And we have to introduce Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then we need to tell them what is Sri Caitanya Caritamrita? What is the significance of this book? Then we've got to cover the benefits of keeping Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. In life, most people have personal motivations, always thinking about how will I be benefited by a particular activity. So if we can convey to them what are the benefits of reading Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, that is a powerful conveying what we want to get across, and also what they get. And I briefly want to talk about distribution opportunity. Sometimes our intention may be very strong. Our motivation may be very strong, but we simply can't figure out how to distribute a set. Who do I speak to? Where do I go to? What do I say? And so on. So we'll speak a bit about that. The motivation. Srila Prabhupada explained to the devotees, and our Vedic scriptures tell us all the time, the secret to success in spiritual life is to please the spiritual master. When the spiritual master is pleased, Krishna is pleased. So Srila Prabhupada has expressed very clearly what would please him and what he would like seeing done. And he said that I want every respectable person has a full set of Bhagavatam and Caitanya Caritamrita in his home. That is Prabhupada's wish. Now that may take many generations to achieve, but it can only be achieved if each generation, each individual, each devotee does their little bit. So we have our own little bit we can do. It's like the spider that was trying to contribute one grain of sand towards the building of the bridge to Lanka for Lord Ram. Ours may be like that, but it's still some contribution towards the effort. Also, this is a very special year. It's the 150th anniversary, appearance anniversary of Srila Prabhupada, spiritual master, our great grandfather spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur had a very special wish for Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. And I what happened to my little, I want to play a little clip. Prabhupada speaking about how he got to translate Sri Caitanya Caritamrita and his spiritual master's wish.
Agatti kagating natva hinartha adhika sadhakam Sri Chaitanyang likhate asya prema bhakti vadanata. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appearance, site of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Siddham Mayapur. So in this place, this is appropriate literature, Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. We may try to discuss during these holy days. Last year, some gentleman suggested, after seeing my all literatures, that you kindly write a translation of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. He thought that this business I can do very nicely. So I took the initiation from this gentleman and began to write. Now it is almost complete. I am now translating Madhya Leela, 20th chapter, the discussion Sanatana Sikha. So it is estimated that 10 volumes like this. You think like that? 10 volumes like this, that will complete Caitanya Caritamrita. Caitanya Caritamrita is the postgraduate study of Krishna consciousness. The Bhagavad Gita is the ABCD to entrance And Srimad Bhagavatam is the graduate study, and Sri Caitanya Caritamrita is the postgraduate study of spiritual life. My Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, whenever he got some time, he used to read Caitanya Caritamrita. And he predicted that the whole world like to read Caitanya Caritamrita, and for this reason they'll learn Bengali. Therefore, following his footsteps, I have kept the Bengali character and tried to give the literary meaning of each word of the Bengali poem. This is of course Sanskrit. This book is full of Sanskrit verses. Some of them
Hare Krishna. So we see from this video that Srila Prabhupada had a desire to please his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His favorite book was the Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. And he predicted that the whole world will try to learn Bengali because of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. So in terms of our Guru Parampara, both in terms of pleasing Srila Prabhupada and his spiritual master, this distribution of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita is a very, very important service. Very important service. And anyone who attempts the service becomes very dear to Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This is a quotation from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. And it is said there, things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow the other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one does not remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. Charitamrita Adilila 14.1. So to remember Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by which act, by remembering everything in spiritual life, which is very difficult in this Kali Yuga, it becomes easy. And the contrary, if we do not remember Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then everything is difficult. But to remember Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we need to know who Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. We need to know about his teachings. We need to know about his lila. We need to know about his guna, his qualities. And that we learn from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. So that's important. So that is like one benefit we can speak about. Normally, when I present Sri Caitanya Caritamrita in the temple, I just may meet a random person, and I'll approach them and I'll say, "Can I share something with you, please?" And invariably, they will say, "Yeah, sure. What would you like to share?" And then I'll say, "Please come." Draw them over to our table, and then I'll say, do you know who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? This is one way we can present who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We can tell them externally and internally who Mahaprabhu is. So externally, for someone who does not know the internal mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was a great personality who transformed India in 4 ways: philosophically, religiously, socially, and politically. Philosophically, by defeating some and converting the greatest philosophers of his time, like Prakashananda Saraswati and his 10,000 disciples, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the Digvijay Pandit. Religiously, he transformed India by organizing the largest, most widespread theistic movement in India's history, which is the Sankirtan movement. Socially, he challenged the caste system, and his closest associates, many of them, including Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, and so on, they came from Mohammedan backgrounds. And politically, he organized the first massive civil disobedience movement when his movement was stopped, even before Gandhi. But this is externally who Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. But who is he in truth? In truth, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has appeared in Kali Yuga as a devotee. Someone may ask the question, why does Krishna appear as a devotee? Because simply to teach devotional service. Who can teach better to be a devotee by the Lord himself? And he also came to propagate the Yuga Dharma of Harinam Sankirtan. So that we can explain. Who's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Explain externally, who's he internally? And then we can, the people may say, oh, you're saying he's God? What is the evidence? There are numerous evidences, and we can share them. There's evidence from the Atharva Veda, Samaveda Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishnu Sahasranam, Garuda Purana, Nashinga Purana, Padma Purana, Narada Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Vayu Purana, Matsya Purana, and Skanda Purana. And actually we have an electronic booklet. If you like this booklet, we'll happily give it to you. And you can see through this booklet the many, many evidences from the Shastra. And there are just two evidences from the Atharva Veda. And it is said in the 7th Manvantar, the Supreme Lord will, accompanied by his own associates, descend in a golden form. He will teach the chanting of his holy names. And then there's a famous verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Vanam Tvisha Krishna, Sangopangas Pashidam, Yagnai Sankirtan Priya, Yajantihi Sumedeshaha. And so we have that, so you can briefly present that. So what have we covered? Who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What is the evidence that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God? We've covered in the beginning what are the benefits one can get from keeping or reading Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. These are just a few benefits I've extracted from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita himself, these benedictions given by the author himself, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And I'll quickly read some of them. Whoever hears of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pilgrimage to various holy places attains the riches of deep, very deep ecstatic love. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are all uncommon. Whoever listens to his activities becomes glorious, and his life becomes perfect. The nectarian drops of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes can satisfy the senses of everyone who hears them. Thus I have narrated Lord Chaitanya's mercy upon Sanatana Goswami. When one hears these topics, one's heart will be cleansed of all contamination. Whoever hears these pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with faith and love will attain the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet very soon. These are all quotations from Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita, and this is just a few. There are so many other glorious benedictions and benefits comes to that person who reads and listens to the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as given in the Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita. Maybe I'll not cover this too much because last time the devotees felt that was too much detail. In the beginning, you must have heard when I paid the lecture, Srila Prabhupada said that Bhagavad Gita is the ABCD, Srimad Bhagavatam is the graduate study, and Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita is the postgraduate study. Now, how does these books connect with each other? Very, very quickly, this is a diagram. You can learn this. So the contents of the Bhagavad Gita is the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. The content of Srimad Bhagavatam is the character and pastimes of Lord Krishna and his devotees. And the content of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita is the process and practice of devotional service. So Bhagavad Gita begins with, you are not the body, you are the soul. Bhagavad Gita ends with, Sarva Dharmam Parichaja, Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Abandon all other varieties of religion and surrender unto me. Where does Srimad Bhagavatam begin? Dharma Projita Koitavatra, which is the second verse. Reject all cheating religion and get to the essence, which is bhakti, right at the beginning. And how does Srimad Bhagavatam conclude? One of the very last verses of the last chapter of the last canto. It states there, chanting of the holy names is the means to destroy all sinful reaction. Srimad Bhagavatam concludes that the means to all spiritual perfection is the chanting of the holy names. Through the chanting of the holy names, everything is revealed. Krishna's Naam, name, Rupa, form, Leela, Guna, his qualities, his Dham, everything. And Sri Caitanya Caritamrita begins with, in Adi Leela, the Lord says, I will come to teach the process of chanting by practicing myself. And how does Sri Caitanya Caritamrita end? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forgot himself throughout the entire day and night, being merged in an ocean of ecstatic love for Krishna. The ultimate end of all spiritual life is Krishna Prema, experiencing the transcendental ecstasy in service to Lord Krishna. And this is how Sri Caitanya Caritamrita ends. So this is just a diagram. If you want to give people some context, they are wondering, how does this book fit into the bigger picture? This is something. Briefly, you can say Sri Caitanya Caritamrita is made up of 3 parts. It's got a total of how many? 20 chapters? No, more than that. The Adi Leela has got 17 chapters, and that's the early pastimes. The Madhya Leela means the middle pastimes, has got 25 chapters. And the Antya Leela, which is the final pastimes of the Lord, it has 20 chapters. So you can just give them if you want, but sometimes this is just detail I'm putting out there. You can use it as you feel your audience wants to. Some people may want to know more, some people may want to know less, but this information is out there. Just some statistics. We normally tell people Srimad Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses. Sri Caitanya Caritamrita is 11,519 verses. And a lot of these verses are verses from the other Vedic scriptures in Sanskrit, as Srila Prabhupada was saying in his little talk. So for over 500 years ago, this wonderful book, the Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, which is written in the Bengali language, was not really accessible to the world. That all changed about 50 years ago when Srila Prabhupada came to the West. And he did a miracle, Srila Prabhupada. In a matter of only 18 months, he translated the entire Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, all 11,519 verses, in a matter of only 18 months. And even the publishing was a miracle. I won't get into that for now. His Holiness Devamrita Swami says, when we look at Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, we must know that we are looking at a miracle. You can use that as a powerful statement, and you can tell them why it's a miracle. I won't get into this. This is just an overview of the different biographies of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Some people are interested in how this book has been viewed by others, especially the scholarly community, the big scholars and professors of the universities. And I've got a few compilation, and I've got an entire document which has got the reviews by scholars. This one is a particularly one I really like, by Dr. Obi Kapoor. He said it is a remarkable document of great historical and sociological importance, giving a picturesque presentation of the socio-religious climate in India of Sri Chaitanya's times and the far-reaching social and religious changes wrought by him. As a literary piece, it is regarded as a work of great merit, having no parallel in the whole of Bengali literature. As a religious text, its sanctity is comparable to that of the Bhagavad Gita. The English edition, translated by E.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, is superb. It contains the original Sanskrit and Bengali verses with the English transliteration, synonyms, and elaborate purports, easily bearing testimony to the author's profound knowledge of the subject. This is from Dr. Bruce Long, Department of Asian Studies, Cornell University, and so on. So we then appeal to people to either take, sponsor, or distribute. Now, what is will really be helpful, we and many other devotees, if we can endeavor for these three things. One is try to appeal to another devotee that you know, or other devotees you know, to be part of this effort to distribute 50 sets of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita by Gaur Purnima, which is on the 24th of March. So try to solicit more distributors. Then there may be another audience who already have Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. Try to convince them or appeal to them to sponsor a set of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, which we will place through different organizations. And lastly, if they don't have Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, to take. So take if you don't have. Sponsor if you have. Distribute if you are a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and you are a follower of Srila Prabhupada, because that's what it is. So these are the three types of people we should approach. Everyone should have a part to play in this effort. What you get, I just spoke to Divyanam Prabhu earlier. He was looking for me to find out where is this big box he has of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet, which is carved in wood, which we have given out in previous years. And he gave me the disappointing news that he looked all over his house, he can't find it. So we're not going to be promoting this gift this year. What we will promote is you'll get the beautiful golden colored 9-volume set, which has the original Bengali, the word-for-word translation and purport, which comes in a beautifully bound golden covered set, which is very compact. It's only 18 centimeters high and 39 centimeters wide. So those people who have objections that they don't have any place in their home, it takes up very little space. It's a gift. On top of that, we have them in other languages. We have them in Bengali, we have it in Hindi, we have it in Gujarati, we have it in Tamil, and we have it in Telugu. So many translations, and obviously English we have. So we meet many people of different communities. We can ask people of different communities. They can sponsor one set for their temple, the Gujarati temple, or the Tamil temple, or the Telugu temple, or they can take one for themselves. So we've got quite a few of these other languages, so it's a great opportunity. We should start to promote it. Yeah, and I think that is the gist of the presentation. Yeah, what is Sri Caitanya Caritamrita? I don't think I did this. One of the primary biographies of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was compiled by the great poet Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj. Kaviraj means great poet. It was compiled in the year 1557. It is the foremost literature of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur himself said, if by some great misfortune all of the books of the world burn down, but only one book remains, the Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, there will be no cause for lamentation. All right, I think I'll stop there. Oh, strategies. Okay, that's one more thing I want to say. So we must be thinking now, how and where will I distribute? So there's a few significant events coming up. Obviously, we have Gaur Purnima on the 24th of March, which is a Sunday. We always distribute many sets. We also have the Gauranga Mela, which is over 3 days, Friday the 22nd, Saturday the 23rd, and Sunday the 24th, which is Gaur Purnima. We have this 3-day event by which we can set up the book table and promote Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. We can reach out to the other communities, phone up, contact people from the various communities and arrange. I have devotees who are prepared to do a little Sri Caitanya Caritamrita or Sri Caitanya Katha. I got devotees who can speak in Gujarati, devotees can speak in Bengali, devotees who could speak in Tamil or Telugu. So if anyone you feel you'd like to arrange a small event, let me know and we'll get the speakers. And obviously we can go door to door, we can phone up people. But the first law of book distribution is the more you show, the more you sell. We've just got to be showing and reaching out to people. Put it on your Facebook page. Ask people to put it on his Facebook page. Put it on your WhatsApp groups. If you want me to make a little promotional video, I can do that. But we need to be showing and speaking and telling people about Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. I'll stop here. Any questions, comments, anything else anyone likes to say?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. That was really thorough and informative. I just wondering if Caitanya Caritamrita is postgraduate and people haven't read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavad, should we still encourage them to take Caitanya Caritamrita?
Actually, that's a very good question. I wanted to cover it in my presentation and I forgot. It was a very important part of the presentation. I was speaking to a senior brahmachari from the temple the other day and I said, Prabhu, can you please become involved in this marathon and distribute? And he said, oh, no. I'm very cautious about who I asked to take Sri Caitanya Caritamrita because it's the postgraduate study. And I told him, Prabhu, I want to tell you one story, and it's a very important and instructive story. And this is from the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada translated the entire Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, and he was particularly unhappy because he had made an enormous effort to translate, but it was not being published. And Prabhupada called his disciples and said, I want all volumes published in 3 months. And they said, impossible. And Srila Prabhupada said, impossible? Impossible is a word that exists only in a fool's dictionary. And the devotees understood that this, the order of the spiritual master, they should do it. Anyway, they embarked on it. And in that journey to publish Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, a big question that remained was, how many should they print? How many sets of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita should they print? So they went to Srila Prabhupada and they worked out, in ISKCON, maybe the devotees will buy, so there'll be a few hundred. And if I'm not mistaken, Prabhupada said, print 50,000 sets. I just need to research it. And he said the paper that they brought for the printing was trainloads and trainloads and trainloads of paper. So when Prabhupada said that, the devotees were shocked. This is Prabhupada, but we don't even have so many devotees. How will we distribute so many sets? Can we distribute it to the ordinary people? And Prabhupada said, yes. You can distribute Sri Caitanya Caritamrita on the street to a very, very new person who knows nothing about Krishna consciousness. So although we say graduate, no, ABC, graduate and postgraduate, Srila Prabhupada personally gave the mandate that any person is eligible and can read Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. That was his own message. Does that answer your question, Sadanandini?
Yes, Prabhu. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions, comments from anyone? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhuji, you know, for Bhagavatam distribution, on the table we have that book that was made up and we could show
Yes.
to the visitors. Do we have a similar book for Caitanya Caritamrita as well?
Yes, we do. Much of the slides I've shown you today is part of that book. Sadanandini, I saw many of the pages printed, but I didn't see them in the folder. We've got folders made up of this now.
Prabhu, we have 2 folders, but last year I personally gave each volunteer 1 folder.
Okay.
So they should have it, at least 10 or definitely 10 people I gave, even I would say even more. So I request if volunteers please check at your home, because it was given to the volunteers.
Okay, I'll remind them. But to answer your question, Smita Mataji, we do have those folders.
That's good.
Thank you. Any other questions by anyone? We just got to go and start presenting now. That's the main thing. Okay. I know it's late. It's already 9:20. Many of you have duties to do. So we'll close here and we can start exchanging, raising questions, sharing victories, sharing what we are doing on the group and build some more momentum. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Would you please send the recording to
Yes.
everybody?
Oh, okay. Let me stop the recording now.